What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, well, LSU got a lot going on. Unrivaled is turning off their comments, and YouTubeTV and ESPN are in a battle that is horrible for women's basketball fans. That and a whole lot more because Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Okay, y'all. You remember what last year when teams were putting out their WNBA teams were putting out their videos for the new season schedule, and you know how Chicago had they did like the suspect one where they were like, oh, suspect is blah 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 blah, while the other person was running, and on the other person was like the logo of whatever team they were talking about. When they got to the Seattle Storm, they kind of got a little quiet and said, suspect just has a lot going on. And that is how I feel about LSU right now. Suspect has a lot going on. A lot is happening at LSU, guys. A lot. Number one being the fact that after going a very, very disappointing 5 wins, 3 losses on the season so far for LSU football, LSU decided to part ways with their head coach, Brian Kelly, a move that, made a lot of sense because LSU, if they're not anything, they are a football state or football university in a football state that pretty much has LSU as like the number one thing. And Brian Kelly, it was like, nope, you are not being successful. We have given you some time. You are just not cut out for the SEC. So he got the boot. Got fired. Then we started to hear the governor of Louisiana start to talk. He's like, hey, he had a lot to say, right? And also there were some other changes in the coaching for the coaching for LSU football. There were other changes, but like the biggest change was that Brian Kelly had the boot, right? So he's out of there, right? And then we started to hear about Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry talk about how he wants LSU to put up a Charlie Kirk statue, which, lots of conversation about that. Then he started talking about how he, meaning the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, who, remember, LSU, what is LSU? Louisiana State University. It's a state institution. So that means that the governor and state officials have a lot of impact, a lot of sway when it comes to what LSU does. Because again, Louisiana State University, public institution. Okay? Keep that in mind. Not only was Jeff Landry talking about a Charlie Kirk, statue, which, y'all can argue or whatever. That's not the point of this. Point is to me to try to tell y'all there's a lot going on at LSU, because it is. And Jeff Landry, the governor, he started to put a whole lot more pressure on the other guy in the photo right here, Scott. The athletic director of LSU for the last 6 years has been Scott Woodward, I should say. And Scott is a beloved athletic director at LSU. I haven't really seen any coaches at LSU or really anybody speak badly about Scott Woodward. But in a surprise move, just 4 days after firing the football head coach, Brian Kelly, Scott Woodward turns in his letter of resignation. Now, this was not a willing thing. He was under heavy pressure And he was basically forced to resign. So yes, Scott Woodward did not get fired, but he was heavily pushed into resigning. Not only did we hear Jeff Landry, again, the governor of Louisiana, say that he basically did not want Scott to help select the new head coach for the football team. But it was the fact that LSU has had a couple of severely disappointing seasons when it comes to football. And again, yes, other sports matter, but at LSU, the main thing is football. So if Scott didn't get that squared away, his days were kind of numbered, and seems like the governor's comments kind of may have pushed that letter of resignation to the forefront a whole lot more. This actually came through yesterday evening during LSU's game. The news came down that Scott Woodward was resigning, and it ended up getting to the LSU bench during the game. Okay. And it got to Kim Mulkey. And Kim Mulkey, who was on the sideline for the game, she heard about the news that Scott Woodward was basically pushed out of his position at LSU. And now, guys, remember, a thing to note, Scott brought Kim in. Right? Scott is Louisiana through and through. He's from Louisiana. He, in a lot of ways, represented what Louisiana is all about, or at least according to people from Louisiana. I don't know. I'm just reading what people say, right? He was a very, very respected figure in Louisiana. He's from Baton Rouge. Like, he was literally born in Baton Rouge. So this is a homegrown man who has brought some success, a good amount of success for LSU. And someone who specifically brought Kim Mulkey to LSU. And after word got to the bench that Scott was officially basically pushed out of LSU, Kim Mulkey was heartbroken. Right? And it was so much that she did not attend the post-game presser. Because after games, of course, there is a post-game presser, even for exhibition matches. And instead of us seeing Kim Mulkey, we ended up seeing the legendary assistant coach Bob Starkey in her place. Now, yes, LSU completely demolished Langston, and in general, there's not a ton to talk about when it comes to exhibition games, especially against teams that aren't very good. LSU wins 121-41. Not crazy, right? But you did see a running up the score for LSU. We did see Kate Koval get a double-double. We did see Maya Joyner get a double-double as well. Whatever. The game was the game. It was a blowout. Didn't really matter. So, press conference. Okay, at the press conference, Bob Starkey is there in replacement of Kim Mulkey because, according to Bob Starkey, quotes, she's heartbroken. Kim Mulkey is. And this press conference basically turned into all the ways that the reporters could ask about what's going on at LSU. Like, yes, the game happened, but at the same time, this was a thing that no one seemed like the reporters didn't totally care about the game. They wanted to ask specifically about what's going on at LSU and how the team is handling it and all that good stuff. And I do want to show a clip from that press conference, so you can hear from Bob Starkey himself.
Coach Starkey, have you heard that they officially parted ways with athletic director Scott Woodward, and what are your thoughts on that?
I have. It made its way to the bench. When we were making our Final Four runs in the early 2000s, Scott was working in the chancellor's office. And I got to know him then. He did a lot of things through the support of Chancellor Emmert at that time that helped our program become relevant when we hadn't been relevant before. We had an ear and a friend in the chancellor's office, and then I was fortunate to work for Scott at Texas A&M, where he did an amazing job. Trust me, I was there. Did an amazing job. And then I've got to come here and got to work with him again. And 40 years of collegiate coaching. I've worked for two phenomenal athletic directors. One was Skip Bertman, the other one was Scott Woodward. Scott has deep love for coaches and student athletes and the people that work for him. He works incredibly hard to make sure that we have the resources. He has a passionate love about this university and about this state. And we, and me personally, are a whole lot better for him.
Coach, how have you all as a program reacted to everything that's transpired this week, from Brian Kelly getting fired all the way to today?
Well, unfortunately, it's kind of a normal part of being in college athletics, isn't it? You know, Coach Mulkey is incredible at steering teams through situations on and off the court, social issues, athletic issues, just anything that we go through. She's a truth speaker, and she's not afraid of confrontation or talking to kids about things. So we've had some conversations. It's difficult. You know, our student athletes know student athletes on the football team. Our coaches know coaches in the football thing. I mean, I think it's one of the things that get overshadowed, that these are people and human beings that are going through these situations, and they have families, and it always gives us pause. You know, if you've been in it long enough, you've gone through it yourself. I mean, I've had to go through it. So I just think we do a good job about being honest. Kim doesn't sweep anything on the rug. She makes sure we have conversations about it, and I think that really helps.
All right, so that was what Coach Bob Starkey had to say yesterday during the press conference. I saw a lot of reporters quoting him saying that Kim is heartbroken. I haven't actually been able to find the actual real clip of him actually saying that. But yeah. Anyway, the fallout continues at LSU. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I here's the thing. Women's basketball does not run schools and athletic departments. Sure, it's nice to have a successful women's basketball program, but the thing that matters for a lot of these programs and a lot of these schools is the football team. And I truly believe that, Scott wouldn't have got fired, or Scott wouldn't have been forced to resign had Brian Kelly been more successful. Right? And so because they had to, fire Brian Kelly, because again, 5-3 is terrible for LSU. So yeah, we'll see ultimately what happens for LSU, but a lot of stuff is going on. Suspect has a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff happening, but we'll see how things go. I mean, here's the thing. People get fired. People resign. It's a thing that happens in life. It happens in athletics. This isn't the first time, something like this has happened. And so, yes, Kim Mulkey is upset and whatnot. However, she'll be fine. We'll probably hear specifically from her about this probably in a couple in the coming days for sure. Especially after LSU's first regular season game, we'll probably hear from her. I mean, we'll hear her say her mind, of course, in a very specific way. Because here's the thing: yes, Scott was very beloved by the coaching staff across the sports at LSU. But this happens, right? This happens. This is not a rare thing, and so yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is, okay? Okay. I do want to get to some of y'all comments, specifically some of y'all who are in Louisiana. What do y'all think about this? Mr. Good Guy, as Starkey said, I'm staying in my lane. Yeah. Bob Starkey is a very successful coach. Yes, X's and O's wise, he is a very special coach and very good. But also, he's very particular with his words. Very particular. Polo says LSU is a sports school with a winning climate, but politics is screwing that up. I mean, it is a state school, so I guess that's what happens. I mean, Louisiana is big for college sports, specifically big for LSU. And if LSU football is doing bad, well, a lot of people got a lot to say. Oh, okay. They used to be in New Orleans. Okay. Or Louisiana. Okay. Aubrey says, thanks so much for the super chat. Aubrey says, Quita, the Saints and Pelicans stink, but the state loves LSU. Yeah. And LSU are not very, well, football-wise, they're not very good right now. And that's the thing that runs everything. And because of the non-success that LSU has had in football, well, Scott is out, and Scott is the main man who brought in Kim Mulkey. So, of course, she is not happy about this situation at all. And we'll probably hear her talk about this sometime soon. But for right now, that's where it is. So, Suspect has a lot going on for Louisiana, okay? Chicago Cheetah says, LSU is the heart of Louisiana. Yeah, I guess it is, yeah. Yeah. Guess it is. Guess it is. So we'll see what happens. And I'll keep you all posted on what happens, okay? Crystal's given some inside baseball, which I know nothing about, but I'll say it. And, folks who are aware, I guess they'll be updated. Crystal says the governor had a vendetta against Scott because he wouldn't hire Will Wade back for basketball. It was just a matter of time after Kelly was fired. We are all saddened by this. It's interesting. It is absolutely interesting, okay? Anyway, El Kune says, speaking of LSU, Angel not playing Unrivaled has me sad. Well, we will get to that in just a sec. We will get to that in just a sec. Okay. But first, guys, but first. we are in fall, heading over to the winter, which, you know, I like the winter, but maybe some of y'all don't. I don't know. Anyway, this time of year, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? Today is Halloween. You know, some of y'all are probably getting ready to go trick-or-treating or whatever people do on Halloween. You got school. The time change is about to happen soon, and we're about to have shorter days and longer nights, and things are busy. And so it can be tough to figure out how to have a good cooked meal throughout all the busyness, all the things that are going on. This is why I personally love Factor. They are a chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meal plan company that makes it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic life gets. Now, Factor is a sponsor on this show, and they're sponsoring this episode, and I do want to thank them for that. Here's the thing, guys. I personally have been a big fan of Factor. I started using Factor, I think, last year, and that was specifically because I didn't have time to figure out what to eat. I didn't have time to, like, figure out, okay, well, here's going to be my meal for the day or whatever. And I just needed something that was going to taste good and something that was quick and something I could microwave. And Factor was that for me. For lots of choices, good nutrition, 97% of customers, I should say that Factor has helped them live a healthier life. And that was me. When you choose Factor, you can feel the difference no matter what your routine is. And so I'm a fan of Factor. I think y'all should be a fan of Factor as well. So eat smart at factormeals.com/Quita50off. Again, use code Quita50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year, which is pretty cool. Again, that's Quita50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. You can get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor, and this is only valid for new Factor customers with the code Quita50off and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. All right? Now, let's move on to another thing that I really want to talk about, and it is Unrivaled, guys. There is a lot of stuff going on in Unrivaled, and yeah, a lot of people got a lot to say about Unrivaled, and including myself. Because the first thing that we saw come through, for sure, is the fact that Angel Reese is not playing in Unrivaled. And I gotta say, I was expecting it, but at the same time, I'm still kind of sad. I'm still kind of sad because I tell you, one of the reasons why I got so into Unrivaled last season as I did was because of Angel. That was why. Now, of course, was I going to watch Unrivaled regardless? Probably, but me watching just about every single game and like being as engaged with it was in large parts because of Angel. And now Angel is not going to be participating in Unrivaled, which is very, very sad. I was, again, as I said, I was expecting this, but at the same time, I was like, man, that's such a bummer. Such a bummer. That officially came out yesterday as Unrivaled has released their final names of players who are participating this year in Unrivaled. Here's the thing, though. Angel basically told us not to be surprised if we don't see her doing a lot of basketball stuff in the offseason. She said it in her podcast. And so, of course, that was kind of like the first indication that she was not going to be participating in Unrivaled. And then we found out that Unrivaled, they were like, hey, it's going to take us it's going to take us a little bit longer to get those final names because they were trying to work some stuff out or whatever. Now we know the final names of the people who are participating in Unrivaled, and I want to go down the list and get your thoughts on it. But actually, we'll do the coaches in a bit. But in terms of players, we do have Dominique Malunga, that is officially going to be an Unrivaled. There was a lot of talk about, okay, did Dominique Malunga, decide to go back on her deal with Fenerbahce and go to Unrivaled instead? That was my thought. Like, oh, she wants to be an Unrivaled now, so she's not going to do Fenerbahce. She's going to go to Unrivaled. And now we have our answer. Yes, Dominique Malunga is going to be in Unrivaled for 2026. Now, Fenerbahce, if y'all don't know what happened, go back a couple of shows, and I talked about Fenerbahce and how they put out a statement basically saying that they're upset that Dominique Malunga went against their deal. She signed a contract with them and went against it. They are leaving the door open to pursuing this as a legal matter, but as of right now, we don't have any updates on that. But it's possible that Fenerbahce could end up causing a stink when it comes to Dominique Malunga and playing in the 2026 WBA season. But Dominique Malunga is Unrivaled, and yes, it's possible that we will have an opportunity to see Dominique Malunga dunk on Rickea Jackson. I want to see Unrivaled. Can we make it a special incentive or something to get Dominique Malunga to dunk on Rickea Jackson? Because if that happens, I tell you, I think it'll go viral. And so I think we need that. I think we need that to happen. We need it to happen. Dunk on Rickea Jackson, Dom. I think it'd just be fun. It would be really, really fun to watch. Just saying. Okay. Anyway, Dominique Malunga is not the only player who has joined Unrivaled. We also have Ari McDonald as well, who has joined Unrivaled. And I gotta say, I was kind of surprised about Ari McDonald joining. I didn't realize that. I don't know. Unrivaled, because now they have 2 additional teams, they are expanding the pool of players that are participating. And I gotta say, I was a little shocked at Ari McDonald. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I gotta say, the thing that shocked me the most, and the thing that caused Unrivaled to turn off their comments on Twitter, or at least segment off their comments so only people they mentioned can reply, is the fact that now Beck Allen is Unrivaled. Guys, I saw this come through and I was like, Ari McDonald, Beck Allen? And it was so bad, the response that people got. And I think it was the reason why I think Beck Allen got so much negative attention is because Beck Allen played for the Chicago Sky, and basically a lot of people were like, oh, wow, Angels for sure out of it. Like, I think it was a thing of like, people like, wait, what? You don't get Angel, but you get Beck Allen? And like, it was just very negative, like very, very negative. People like, what? How did Beck Allen get an invite and all this other stuff? It was so bad that literally, and I'm here, let me actually show y'all. So I got proof on it, because literally Unrivaled had to basically turn off the comments. They basically had to turn off the comments for this post. It was so bad of a response. And I gotta tell you, I don't know if I blame them for doing it. I think that was the better move to just turn off the comments, because it was pretty bad. But yeah, here's the post, and usually Unrivaled pretty much never turns off their comments, but like here's the post about Beck Allen, and you see here who can reply. Accounts Unrivaled mentioned can reply, so basically they turned off the comments. Now, of course, people can still quote tweet, and people can still quote tweet, and you can see the quotes, but like, people are not happy, and I do not want it to be like this is all Jay, I really don't think I don't think that all these people are Angel and Sky fans. Now, are some? Sure. But I also think that it's people who are just genuinely surprised about this. Like, here's the thing. Gio, I think this comment is totally indicative of what I think. Unrivaled was billed to us as a league where the best talent played, and season 2 has been a lot of role players, significantly more than season 1. And that's primarily because of the additional 2 teams, right? And so you have a lot more players that are participating in this. And so it is kind of cool that there will be three Australians in there: Beck Allen, Ezzy McMagor, and Atlanta Smith. Like, I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's people are not very happy about the situation, and I have to, like, truly, there has been a lot of players that have been selected that last year would have never been in Unrivaled, and it's because of the 2 teams, additional teams that they created. And so I think this is going to be interesting, for sure interesting to see how this all turns out. But yeah, they turn off the comments, and so all you have is the quote tweets from here on out. But you can see, engagement-wise, literally 600,000 people engage with that. Now, if we look at all the other posts, 354 for the coach's announcement, 300 for Dominique Malunga. Not even 200 for Ari McDonald. Basically, what I'm saying is they specifically picked, I guess, Beck Allen for people to kind of put their frustration out on. Here's the thing: I don't think this is a specific thing to Beck Allen. Like, I think you can go down the list and look at some of the people who are on this year or in 2026 for Unrivaled, and there is a difference. There is a name difference between last year and this year. But that happens. I mean, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. All right. And so that's kind of where we are. That's kind of where we are. Jeff, thanks so much for the super chat, says, why doesn't Kennedy play for Unrivaled? Wasted opportunity. Here's the thing. I mean, I think Kennedy Carter would be fantastic in Unrivaled. in my opinion, Kennedy Carter is one of, if not the best, when it comes to her one-on-one game. I would have loved to see Kennedy participate in Unrivaled and specifically participate in that one-on-one competition. Like, I would have loved it. Now, we don't know. We don't know if Unrivaled reached out to Kennedy and she said no. We don't know if Unrivaled never reached out to Kennedy. We don't know. But I tell you this, I would have loved to see Kennedy Carter playing in Unrivaled. Maybe. I mean, here's the thing. Kennedy Carter's playing right now, and she seems to be very happy. I forgot. I think she's in one of the Gulf states. I forgot the exact country she's in. But she's making money. She seems to be very happy. Or at least she was in a Gulf state for a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I do not know. How it's like what the situation was between Unrivaled and Kennedy, if there was a situation. We don't know. But on to the other news. We did see the coaching staff unveiled for Unrivaled for this year. So there are some changes to the coaching staff. So we do see some coaches come back, right? DJ Sackman is back. Teresa Weatherspoon is back. Right? Nola Henry is back. But guys, we got some new coaches as well. Rena Wakama, the Chicago Sky assistant coach. She is going to be the head coach of Hive BC. We got Zach O'Brien will be the head coach of Mist BC. Ronika Hodges, former basketball player, she will be the head coach of Phantom. And Noelle Quinn, the recently ousted Seattle Storm head coach, is going to be the head coach of Breeze BC. Here's the thing. I really like what Unrivaled's doing with the coaching stuff. Like, I really like it. Like, I love the fact that last year, Nola and Teresa Weatherspoon were head coaches, because here's the thing. This was fresh off of Teresa Weatherspoon getting let go from the Chicago Sky. And so the fact that, Unrivaled was like, hey, come on over. We know that you can develop players. We've seen what you have done in the past. We want you to be a head coach. And I thought Teaspoon did a good job, and again, everybody really likes Teaspoon. Like, they think she's great. And so I was happy that she had that opportunity to coach in Unrivaled. Now, of course, is 3-on-3 different than 5-on-5? Absolutely. But she's staying in the coaching game, and I think that's a skill that I think is great to see her continue to work. I do like the fact that Noelle Quinn was hired to be the head coach of Breeze BC. Here's the thing. Noelle Quinn is someone who, was just let go. And I think this is a great opportunity for her to just stay in the game of coaching and get another opportunity. Again, not the same as 5-on-5, but still, it's an opportunity. And I like how Unrivaled overall is just embracing these coaches. Rena Wakama, y'all know, if y'all have been watching this channel for the last couple of years, y'all know how big of a fan I am about Rena Wakama. I think this lady is going to be a head coach in the WNBA or women's college basketball soon. Okay? What she has done in the past with Team Nigeria in the Olympics and in FIBA overall, I think she's been doing her thing, and I love the fact that she's with Chicago. I hope she stays as an assistant coach with Chicago. I think she has a lot of potential in the women's game. And Noelle Quinn, I think, again, great opportunity for her. Ronika Hodges, another name that I was like, okay, right? I was actually very happy about this decision, because Ronika Hodges is another player who was a former WNBA player, right? And also, remember, guys, she also was someone who was in the coaching game as well, right? She still is. Yeah, she's a current assistant coach for the Connecticut Sun. And so very exciting stuff for the coaching aspect of Unrivaled. I personally like it. I like it. I love the fact that you are that you're bringing coaches in who have never had an opportunity to be a head coach, and bringing coaches who have kind of been chewed up and spit out in terms of being a head coach. Like I think this is great because number one, I'm a full belief that Teresa Weatherspoon can and eventually will be a head coach again. I have full belief that Nola Henry can and will be a head coach in either, again, for Teaspoon and Nola, either in college or WNBA. It's happening. It's going to happen. Rena Wakama, same thing. She is going to be a head coach. And I think that that coaching in Unrivaled, again, not the same thing, but I do think it's exciting. I do think it's fun. I am happy that Unrivaled is giving these opportunities. Okay. Very, very, very happy about that. So that's kind of where we are with Unrivaled, right? That's where we are. We have the coaching situation figured out. We have the overall player pool figured out. Now the thing that has to be determined, that the thing that we still don't know where these players are going. All right, that's one thing that we are not aware of at the moment. But for right now, we can just go through the list for Unrivaled real quick because they have 48 out of 48 players. So everybody is all accounted for. We got Alyssa Thomas, Rakia Jackson, Satu Sabli, Paige Becker, Sanaya Rivers, Erica Wheeler. We got Brianna Stewart, Lexi Hall, Azarae Stevens, Jackie Young, Sonia Citron. We have Kate Martin, De'Erica Hamby, Natasha Cloud. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Veronica Burton. Aaliyah Edwards, Kiki Ira Finn, Monique Billings. We got Nafisa Collier, Ray Burrell, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Sykes, Kelsey Mitchell, Nas Hillman. We got Kalia Copper, Alicia Gray, Shakira Austin, Courtney Williams, Shook Sutton, Natisha Heidemann. We got Skylar Diggins, Brittany Griner, Ryan Howard, Aaliyah Boston, Ezzy McMagor, Rachel Banham. We have Cameron Brink, Enrique Gumbawale, Marina Mabry, Maddie Segrist, Alana Smith, Jordan Canada, Leah Rue, Kelsey Plum, Dana Evans, Ari McDonald, Rebecca Allen, and Dominique Malunga. These are all the players. These are all 48 of the players that are participating in Unrivaled. We do not have the full list of, well, we don't even have the list of who's, what players who played last year are staying with their teams this year, or if they're just going to do a full new draft and whatnot. We don't know totally. There will be some players who, or there will be players who will return to their teams that they were on last year, but we don't know how everything all shakes out, and so we'll see what happens from here. But this is their update for Unrivaled. I did just want to let you all know about that because, yeah, shout out to Unrivaled. Shout out to Unrivaled. Yes, Unrivaled did pay B'Angelini Hamilton for getting injured last year. I believe they paid her what would have been her WNBA salary this year. And remember, B'Angelini Hamilton did not start off in Unrivaled. She was one of those backup players, one of those hardship players that they got mid-season, and then she got hurt. And so we'll see what happens. Also, remember, guys, Unrivaled did say that they were going to have an additional pool of players that were sort of like that were going to be like the hardship type of players. As far as I'm aware, they have not announced the names of the people who are going to be in that pool of just sort of like as needed players. And so, yeah, that's something to note. Okay. Amelia says, "Oh, is Fee not playing either?" Fee, I mean, she's listed here. I don't know if she's gonna be fully healthy by January. I don't know. Because she got injured basically towards the end of during the playoffs, and there was no, like, we didn't get as many updates as we would have gotten if she was injured like in the middle of the season. So I don't have an update on Nafisa Collier. My assumption was that she was going to be healthy when we came to March. I mean, when we came to January, but I don't know. I'm not totally sure. Let's see. T. Carmela says, Mabry better not finesse Unrivaled like this year like she did last year. She was injured. I mean, she was injured. It is what it is. I think last year, a lot of the injuries that players had, it was because they weren't used to the style of play of Unrivaled's version of 3-on-3. Because again, it's full court 3-on-3, but it's not a normal full court. It's like a condensed full court. It's a lot faster because the shot clock is a lot shorter, and so that's the thing. Okay. I don't think she was finessing Unrivaled. I don't think a lot of the players who got injured last year was finessing anybody. I really do think that players came in unprepared for the physical rigors of Unrivaled's version of 3-on-3. And now that we're getting into year 2, a lot of the players have something to compare it to, and I think they'll be more prepared this year. The returners will be more prepared this year than they were last year. Because yes, it's 3-on-3, but this is not FIBA 3x3. It's not. FIBA 3x3 is half court, right? You check ball. Like it. This is not that. This is not that. And so, yeah, I do think that Unrivaled physically was more of a grind than before. Right? And so, yeah. And hopefully people just want it more too this year. Hopefully. Polo says, Quita, why dunk on Rakia? Why her? I like her. I like Rakia too. I think Rakia is awesome. But Rakia literally said when Dominique Malonga, when it's like, oh, Dominique Malonga's coming to the WBA, Rakia was like, hey, I don't want her to dunk on me. And so that's why it's like a joke about Dominique Malonga dunking on Rakia, because Rakia specifically said that she didn't want to get dunked on by Dominique Malonga. So I think it'd be funny that the person who don't want to get dunked on by Dom ends up getting dunked on by Dominique Malonga. I think that'd be kind of funny. Anyway, I want to move on to another topic, and something that I'm actually very frustrated by. And this actually involves my favorite streaming service. You all probably know by now that I talk about YouTube and YouTubeTV all the time because I like YouTube and YouTubeTV. It was my favorite. It was my favorite streaming platform. You hear I said was, right? Here's the thing. If you all are not aware, there has been a fight in the background going on. And that fight has reached a head today, guys. It has reached a tipping point. Oh, nope. Where's my share screen? And here we go. So, this is what YouTube TV put out last night. It says, members, when we renew our contracts with network partners, we advocate for fair pricing to offer you the best TV experience. Our contract with Disney has reached its renewal date and we'll not agree to terms that disadvantage our members while benefiting Disney's TV products. Despite our best efforts, we have not been able to reach a fair deal. And starting today, Disney's programs will not be available on YouTube TV. This means you will no longer be able to watch channels like ABC and ESPN or access recordings from these networks in your library. We know how disruptive it is to lose channels you enjoy, and we're committed to continuing to work with Disney to reach an agreement. If their content is unavailable for an extended period of time, we'll offer our members a $20 credit for updates to give the website. Okay, that's what YouTube TV said. Now, here's what ESPN says, because I don't care about Disney. I care about ESPN. Because I don't watch the kid shows or whatever. All I care about is ESPN and ESPN products because that affects women's basketball. So here's what ESPN had to say. They said, unfortunately, Google's YouTube TV has chosen to deny their subscribers the content they value most by refusing to pay fair rates for our channels, including ESPN and ABC. Without a new agreement in place, their subscribers will not have access to our programming, which includes the best lineup in live sports, anchored by the NFL, NBA, and college football, with 13 of the top 25 college teams playing this weekend. With a $3 trillion market cap, Google is using its market dominance to eliminate competition and undercut the industry standard terms we've successfully negotiated with every other distributor. We know how frustrating this is for YouTube TV subscribers, and we remain committed to working towards a resolution as quickly as possible. So, that is what YouTube TV put out. That's what ESPN put out. Here's the thing. All of this is billion-dollar corporations battling to just make more money. Here's the thing. ESPN knows what they're doing. They're doing it for a reason. You all remember this new subscription, this new streaming subscription that ESPN is touting now, right? ESPN is turning into a streaming service all in of itself. Okay? For just $29.99 a month, you can get ESPN. Meaning you can watch stuff that airs on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News. You can watch things that show up on the SEC network and whatnot. ESPN is trying to strong arm all of these TV network, all of these streaming companies to say, hey, give us more money or we'll just go off your platform. We have our own way of distributing our content now. Yeah. It's interesting. This is turning into, exactly, Green Thumb, turning into a monopoly. Here's the thing. Now, while I think ESPN is and Disney overall is playing a game that they have kind of rigged in a way that they will win regardless, YouTube TV, it's not like they're the innocent doves either. Here's the thing. as someone who has been on YouTube TV for a long time, I subscribe to YouTube TV primarily because I was a Comcast subscriber, right? So I paid for Xfinity. Xfinity, you had to have all these bundles to get sports, and you had to get these bundles and pay a ton of money for all these channels that I didn't care about. And I'm paying close to $100 just for cable to watch sports. And so I was like, you know what? Let me go to YouTube TV. So I got rid of Comcast. Moved over to YouTube TV for my streaming and TV needs. YouTube TV had all the sports. All the sports was on YouTube TV. And it was at a fairly affordable price. And year after year after year after year, my bill for YouTube TV has continued to go up. Continued to go up to the point where now I feel like I'm basically paying what I left Comcast for. And now, not only did you originally look like the solution to these bloated cable packages, you seem like the solution, people went to you, and now the prices that people are paying is now rivaling those same cable providers they went from. And so now not only am I paying basically cable prices for YouTube TV, now ESPN products are gone. Now, when women's college basketball starts on the 3rd, and what am I going to do now? The whole reason for YouTube TV is because I want to watch sports. I don't watch actual TV. I don't. I watch sports, and specifically women's sports, specifically women's basketball. And the best bet for women's basketball has been YouTube TV. That's what it has been. And now I don't have the SEC network. Right? I don't have ESPN2, ESPN News, right? I don't have all of those channels. I don't have the ACC network anymore. Those are all ESPN products. And so now I have to go to ESPN Unlimited, and now I have to pay $29 a month until this situation gets figured out so I can watch women's college basketball. Because the only way I can give y'all this content is if I can actually watch the games. And so therefore, now I'm going to have to pay $29.99 to watch ESPN Unlimited. And I'm serious. And I just paid for YouTube TV. Like, literally, they just took the money out of my account, like, I don't know, a couple of days ago. And so next month, I think will probably be my last month for YouTube TV. Like, I'm done. Literally, the only reason I care about YouTube TV is because of their sports package. I am going to leave. And also, I think they have the best interface. They have the best interface of all the streaming platforms. But I think I'm done. I think I'm going to unsubscribe from YouTube TV. I mean, I've already paid for this current month that I'm in, so I'm going to, once this month is over, I'm gonna cancel if they don't get ESPN products back, because that's literally all I care about. And I think this is terrible for women's basketball. Now, of course, terrible for all sports, but like specifically women's basketball, because YouTube TV that's the best game in town when it comes to sports. Because not only does YouTube TV had all of the ESPN products, they also had all the Fox Sports products as well. And so, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. YouTube TV, ESPN, get y'all stuff together, because I'm done. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, all the people who were like, oh, Quita's getting paid by YouTube TV, She always is saying something positive about YouTube TV because there was positive stuff to say. But now, this is ridiculous. There's so many people like me who specifically only care about YouTube TV because of ESPN and ABC. Yeah. And yeah, Kay, they no longer have WNBA League Pass. And so that was another reason why I really loved YouTube TV. And so, yeah. Kentucky Rick says YouTube TV is going to give a $20 refund if they don't settle with Disney. Hopefully that will settle. That's not enough. Because here's the thing. It costs $29.99 to pay for ESPN Unlimited. Right? It costs $29.99. So a $20 refund is not going to do anything. And so all I got to say is I'm just very annoyed and upset at all these streaming companies and all these network providers because they are just trying to eke out more money, while giving us more ads and in a lot of ways diminishing the product. Right? And so, yeah. Anyway, whatever. Amazon Prime is going to take over the world when it comes to sports. And then they're going to do the same thing YouTube TV is doing. They're going to jack up the price more and more to the point where you're like, what? I thought I was saving something. I ain't saving jack. Yeah, you ain't saving jack. Yeah. Tanisa says, I have Sling TV and you have to pay to add on the other ESPN networks. Oh, man. Okay, so maybe I won't be going there. But anyway, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. But I'm not staying with YouTube TV if they don't get this thing figured out. Like I just can't do it. Like there's no way. Like I want to pay for a just sports bundle. Sports bundle. That's what I want. I don't want these news channels. I'm not gonna watch them. I don't want them. Right? I don't care for anything other than all the sports channels, including TNT and ABC because they do play some sports on there sometimes, and HGTV. That's all I want. Yeah. It's expensive. It is expensive. And I pay it. But again, I got rid of Comcast because that's what I was paying. And so now, I don't know. Actually, I might end up going back to Comcast. I don't know. That might be interesting. Anyway. Corey says it's Disney. Disney owns Hulu, and they are trying to get a lot of YouTube TV customers to cancel and come to Hulu Live. Hulu Live will now have all ESPN channels you mentioned. Yes, but does Hulu Live have FS1, FS2, all that stuff? I don't know. I gotta look into it. But yeah, maybe I have to go to Hulu plus Live TV. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all for the YouTube TV subscribers that love YouTube TV, and you also love women's basketball. I mean, something's gonna have to give. Something is going to have to give. All right, and that's basically the story. That's the story. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate the super chat. Says we appreciate you, Quita. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. That'll pay for the super chats today. Will pay for the ESPN unlimited thing I now have to purchase. I appreciate it. Thank you. Chris says Hulu has most of what you want. I'll look into it and see what happens. Brandon says YouTube TV should come with YouTube Premium. It should. Here's the thing: I pay for YouTube Premium, and I pay for YouTube TV. They are two separate products. Yeah. Unfortunately, but yeah. Hey, everybody wants a slice of the pie. I get it. Everybody want money, but at the same time, I think they nickeling and diming the consumers too much. Too much. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, that's the stream. Ooh, crap. I got to go to work. Okay. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well. Yeah. Yeah, man. We'll see what happens. And we'll see how much we all have to pay for it. So, if you are a YouTube TV person, this is your warning that you don't have Disney products, which include all of the ESPN products, which includes ABC. So, yeah. Yeah. Clark says, can we get a Princess or Mr. President sighting? Here, let's see. Hold on. Hold on. They're right behind me. Mr. President. All right. Here's Mr. President. He needs a haircut, as you can see. But there he is. All right. So, happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully, you all have a fantastic day. Women's college basketball starts next week. I'm excited about it, okay? I'm excited. But yeah, man. Anyway, y'all have a good one. And I will see y'all in the next one. You got your dog sighting for the day, okay? All right. Let me find my exit. So long, guys. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set,